আমাদের গান হয়তো আপনাদের সবার কাছে ভালো লেগেছে। সো এখন আমরা একটু স্পিচ শুনবো। ন্যাট আছে আমাদের সাথে, ফেডারেল নমিনেশনের জন্য এখানে এসেছে। Now, in fact, that whole program has been supported and organized by Nat, his family, and his members, and the members of Bedicron. So I'd like to call Nat on stage and give us some speech. Ladies and gentlemen, Nat.
Hello everyone. Thanks very much for coming today. My name is Nathaniel Erskine Smith, or also called Nate, and I am running for the federal Liberal nomination here in the riding. Now you'll remember Maria Mina served the riding very well for 18 years. She's retiring now, and I want to pick up where she left off and represent the federal Liberal Party here in the riding. And I want to make sure that Trudeau's Liberals win next time and continue to represent this riding for a long time. Now, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. Very briefly about me, I was born and raised here in the riding. I grew up at Woodbine and Gerrard and Maine and Gerrard. I went to school here, public school and high school. My mother and wife and brother are here today. My mother's a teacher in the riding, and my wife and I now live in the riding down on Q Beach. So I wouldn't run anywhere else. I'm running here because it's my home and I want to represent my home. Two, I'm currently a commercial litigation lawyer downtown. I study politics and constitutional law at Queen's and at Oxford. This is what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about politics. I think I can do a lot to improve our politics. And being a lawyer is wonderful, but I think I can do a lot more good if I'm representing you in office in Ottawa. And finally, I should say, now I know we have a lot of devoted Liberals here. I know that the Bengali community, Mr. Koka and Alan, thank you so much for bringing everyone out today. I really appreciate it. There's a loyalty to the Liberal Party that is wonderful to see in this riding, in this community. And I just want to say, so I have my own ideas. I've got ideas that I'm going to go to Ottawa and fight for, from the environment to electoral reform. You can read my literature here. But part of this process is, you have to be a leader. You have to go out and I have to explain why I think certain ideas are really important. But the other aspect of this is to listen to you and to represent your views. And from whether it's foreign skilled workers, and I spoke to a doctor today who the process takes 7 years. He's a doctor in Bangladesh. It takes 7 years. A good friend who's working on the campaign, who's a lawyer in Bangladesh. It takes him 3 years to become a lawyer here. That just can't be the case. So there's one issue. I mean, family reunification. I sat down with 4 young Bengalis who said it's going to be 2 years before they see their wives here in Canada. That just doesn't make any sense. Family is obviously a human right. So continue to tell me about ideas that matter to you, and I will continue to make note of them, and I will continue to make sure that if and when I am elected, I'll take those ideas to Ottawa with me. So thank you very much. And we have another guest here today, Mr. Arthur Potts. You'll know that the provincial election is currently happening right now. Arthur is our provincial Liberal candidate in the riding. He has been involved in the recycling industry. He's committed to the environment. He's been involved at City Hall. I welcome him up here to tell you more about himself and how you can support him in the upcoming provincial election. So come on up here, Arthur.
Thanks, Nate. Which one's working? Right there. This is fantastic. Nate, thank you very much, and the organizers for this, bringing people together. What a great bit of music. I don't speak Bengali, but as I was sitting here listening to music, I turned around to Sam over here, and I said, he's singing about love. He's heartbroken. He's telling stories about, and he said, yes, you're right. He's telling about heartbroken. And then a little later on, there was another song, and I said, he seems so happy. I think he's driving down the countryside with the wind in his hair. And it was great music. My only regret is we didn't have people dancing. But anyway, thanks for that great music. I appreciate it. Thank you. There is a provincial election going on right now, and it's really important, I think, in this election that we understand that the current councillor, there I go, back to my city politics roots, the current MPP has been representing this area a long, long time. Now, he's a great guy. But the point is, after 26 years, if you haven't brought your agenda and fixed things in the neighborhood, maybe it's time to go find another line of work. There are such pressing issues in this community. I've been up in Crescent Town a numbers of times. There are issues around security, which the representatives there are finding nobody's listening to them. There are no security cameras between the buildings, right? The doors are left unlocked, or the locks don't work, and people are coming into people's homes and they're stealing things. When they go to take their garbage, they come back and someone's been through their house. It's like they've been targeted. And these things have to change. And if the current council, current MVP hasn't been addressing these issues, he needs to step away and let someone who's younger, more energetic, enthusiastic, who has a passion for helping come together. And that's what I've been doing in my life. I have a background in political philosophy. I have a background as a master's in labor management relations. And I was accepted at Cambridge Law. But I couldn't go. It was very too expensive for me and my wife to go there. But my dad graduated from Cambridge as well. So what I've been doing for the last 25 years of my life has been helping my clients as a consultant solve problems. I make money by finding a problem or hearing about a problem, finding a solution, and then implementing the solution. I help bring the deposit return system for liquor bottles. So you know that if you have these bottles of wine bottles for 20 cents, they go back and people get money from them. And this has been very important because it takes this material from the blue box, and municipalities are saving money not having to process that material. And I've also done things like improve the amount of materials we collect in the blue box, more paper, more plastics, and this is an environmental initiative that keeps things out of landfill, puts it back into valuable manufacturing, and it's good for the environment all around. And this has again brought millions of dollars to municipalities. So this has been the area of my expertise, working in waste management, recycling, environmental, energy production, and it has developed me, I think, with a great set of skills and a toolbox to go out there, and when I hear there's a problem, I'll find a solution and we'll implement it. And that's the kind of local representative I will be for you, and I need your support to do. Now, those of you who've been looking at the Liberal platform across the province, it's all about this great budget we brought in. And you got to understand this budget that the NDP and that Michael Crew, as the finance, he didn't support. This had fantastic investments in infrastructure, in new transit, in hospitals, in healthcare and education. It was going to create 220,000 good jobs. We need employment in this country. We don't need Tim Hudak's 1 million job plan because there's only 540,000 people looking for work, and you wonder where are the rest of them going to come from? You know, and we know now he's going to start firing people so he can hire them again, and it's just the wrong attitude. So we need to get a Liberal elected here, and I need your support to do so. The election is only, I think, 18 days away, June the 12th. So I just want to ask quickly, maybe a show of hands, who in this room planned to vote for the Liberals in the June 12th election? Oh my God, it's unanimous! Thank you very much. You know, I really, really appreciate that support. And what I really want to see is all of you go home and talk to your neighbors and explain to them why this is such an important election. And on June 12th, let's elect a Liberal provincially so we can use our strength to elect another Liberal federally. Nate, thanks for having me. This has been a great event. Appreciate
it. Thanks very much, everyone. Not to take up too much more of the music time, I just want to thank all of you for coming out. And when it comes to our process, there's an election coming up June 12th for the province. But if you want to make sure that the Trudeau Liberals represent you in the next federal election and thereafter, there's a nomination going on in this riding right now. You can, if you haven't left your information, please do so up at the front. My request of you is this: please join the Liberal Party of Canada, become a member so you're eligible to vote in the nomination, and you can vote for me and make sure we have a young, hardworking candidate from the riding to represent you. And you can be, you know, people think you have to be a citizen to vote in this process. You don't. You have to be a citizen to vote in the general election. You have to be a resident to vote in the nomination, and you can be 14 years old. So please, everyone who lives between Coxwell and Victoria Park, and from Lake Ontario all the way up to Sunrise Avenue, if you know anyone at all, please spread the word, take my materials, and help me out. I would really appreciate it. Thanks again for coming.